Ladies and gentlemen, let's all rise and invite our chief guest, Vice Admiral Alok Anand, YSM, Commandant, Indian Naval Academy, Erimala, and our Director, Professor Debashish Chatterjee, to this event. Please be seated. Today is a celebration of 3 decades of growth, excellence, and transformation. 30 years ago, Indian Institute of Management Kozhikode began its journey with a purpose of nurturing leaders and educators who will contribute towards creating a better world. The journey of IIMK, God's on campus, has been one of a constant evolution, pioneering new programs, embracing innovation, strengthening research, and taking Indian thought to a global audience. And today, as we mark the completion of 30 years of IIMK Kozhikode, we celebrate not only the institution that we are, but also the institution that we aspire to become. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the 31st Foundation Day celebration of Indian Institute of Management Kozhikode. May I now invite our chief guest, Vice Admiral Alok Anand, YSM, Commandant, Indian Naval Academy, and our Director onto the dais. So please. Let us start this journey in the quest of knowledge and wisdom with an invocation. I request everyone to please rise for the invocation.
Maitreem bhajata akhila hrijetreem. Maitreem bhajata akhila hrijetreem. Atmavadeva paranapi pashyata. Atmavadeva paranapi pashyata. Yuddham त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेष्वाक्रममाक्रमणं त्यजत परेष्वाक्रममाक्रमणं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीम्.
May I now invite our chief guest, Director, the Deans, and Professor Deba Sethi for lighting the lamp. Thank you. With great respect, now I request Professor Deepa Sethi, Executive Chair, Globe, for addressing the gathering.
Our distinguished chief guest, Vice Admiral Alok Ananda, YSM, Commandant, Indian Naval Academy, Admiral, our director, faculty, colleagues, board members, officers, staff members, students, and everyone present. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the Foundation Day celebration of the Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode. It's my privilege to deliver this address on behalf of the director, Professor Debashish Chatterjee. Vice Admiral Ananda, we are honored to welcome you. The Indian Naval Academy and IIM Kozhikode serve the nation in different spheres but share a common purpose: preparing people to lead with knowledge, discipline, and courage. The Navy teaches people to hold a steady course when the water gets rough. At a business school, we like to think we do much the same, just with fewer waves and a great many more PowerPoint slides. We look forward to your Foundation Day address. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, "Never be a prisoner of your past. It was just a lesson, not a life sentence." That is the spirit of a Foundation Day too, not dwelling in the past, but drawing its lessons forward into everything still ahead. 3 decades ago, IIM Kozhikode began with 42 students on a temporary campus. As the 5th Indian Institute of Management, it entered a distinguished family without an established legacy. It had to create its own place, voice, and character. From those few students, it has grown into a large, diverse community spread across 112.5 acres on 2 hillocks of Kunamangalam, offering education from undergraduate to doctoral to executive levels. Today, IIM Kozhikode stands among the top 3 management institutions in India for the 3rd consecutive year. These numbers tell us how far we have traveled. The more important story is how we traveled that distance by thinking differently. IIM Kozhikode has respected tradition without being constrained by it, pursued global standards while remaining rooted in India, and shown that excellence and inclusion strengthen each other. In 2001, it became the first institution in Asia to pioneer interactive learning for working executives. In 2010, it became the first IIM to earn AMBA accreditation. ICWIS followed in 2021 and was renewed for 5 years in 2024. We are already on a striding leap towards the 3rd accreditation, that is AACSB. The Institute also helped transform the national conversation on gender diversity, moving from under 10% in a flagship batch to more than 50%, not once but twice. This was excellence widened, not compromised. The flagship PGP was placed 69th worldwide in the FT Masters in Management Ranking 2025, and the EPGP Kochi program entered the QS Online MBA rankings at 23rd globally and 1st in classroom experience. If our rankings were a stock, this would be the moment analysts would start telling to buy. IIM Kozhikode is no longer simply seeking recognition on the global stage, it's establishing a distinctive place on it. Yet, a school's true influence cannot be contained in a ranking table. It is visible in a classroom where an assumption is questioned, in research that reframes a problem, and in a graduate who exercises authority with integrity. An institution becomes consequential when its ideas travel farther than its name. At this milestone, it is fitting that we acknowledge the leadership of our director, Professor Debashish Chatterjee, the longest-serving director of an Indian Institute of Management, whose vision is reflected in our sustained standing, accreditations and ranking, and international engagement. His deeper contribution lies in connecting growth with purpose. He reminds us that scale without soul is not progress. Under his leadership, diversity has become central to our understanding of excellence. Sustainability and Indian ways of thinking are gaining a stronger place in our imagination. Vision 2047 brings this together through three principles: Satyam, authenticity; Nityam, sustainability; and Purnam, fulfillment, an anchor and a compass for a school committed to a more complete understanding of human progress. Professor Chatterjee's aspiration is to make IIM Kozhikode not only one of the best institutions in the world, but one of the best institutions for the world. And that distinction captures the spirit of his leadership. Sir, your dedication, your faith in the people, and your ability to see possibilities beyond the immediate horizon continue to inspire this community. This day also belongs to everyone who has shaped the Institute's journey: the visionaries who conceived it, the boards and the former directors who strengthened the foundations, the faculty whose scholarship gives it intellectual viability, the staff who sustain its daily life, and the students whose curiosity renews its purpose every year. Each generation receives a legacy, adds to it, and passes it forward. Ours received IIM Kozhikode at a moment of profound change: artificial intelligence transforming work, climate and its change challenging development, and technology increasing our capacity to act faster than our wisdom to choose. And for IIM Kozhikode, this extraordinary world is a field of opportunity: research that shapes policy, classrooms that prepare students to improve the systems they inherit, and graduates whose success is measured by the value it creates for others. The first 3 decades have established our credentials. The decades ahead offer the chance to establish our enduring consequence. Alan Kay, a pioneer of modern computing, said, "The best way to predict the future is to invent it." And that is the opportunity before IIM Kozhikode. The next chapter will be written today, not by observing the future, but by shaping it. Not by asking where the world is going, but by deciding what contribution IIM Kozhikode will make when it gets there. With that conviction, I once again extend a very warm welcome to our chief guest and to every member of the IIM Kozhikode community. May this Foundation Day deepen our gratitude, renew our confidence, and give fresh energy to the journey ahead. And on that note, I will do something professors are famously bad at: stop talking before I run out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wise words. Now I invite Professor Sudarshan Kuntaluru, Dean, Executive Education, for a few words.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Vice Admiral Alok Anandji, respected Director Professor Javash Chatterjee, my dear faculty colleagues and staff colleagues, very good afternoon. It is indeed a great pleasure to be part of on this day's celebration of IIM Kozhikode 30 years of experience and 31st Foundation Day. I still recall I joined Institute in 2009, so it's almost 17 years now. So I am fortunate enough to be part of this growth journey for more than now 17 years. In fact, during that time, we were, in terms of the faculty, around 27 numbers, and staff size was very small. And most of us just started our careers, both in terms of faculties and staff. We all had a small kids. Now all the kids grew up, they were now in the schools, some of the kids gone to colleges, so the life moved on. When it comes to the institution Foundation Day, it is particularly wonderful that our Foundation Day this year coincides with our Onam celebrations. The beautiful Pookalam, which all of us have seen, truly reflects our 30 years of journey with the different colors, different contributions and different experiences coming together to create something beautiful and meaningful. The growth and success of IIM Kozhikode are the result of able leadership. Well, thanks to Professor Devash Chatterjee, in fact, shaping is the institution, building this institution, a strong culture of collegiality and the collective efforts of our faculty, staff, students and alumni and all our well-wishers. Over the 30 years, IIM Kozhikode has grown from a young institution to one of the India's leading management institution. We have created knowledge, developed leaders and contributed meaningfully to the business and society. We proudly call our campus as an oxyrich, and this is a moment I think we should thanks to each community member in maintaining this particular thing. But the real richness of IIM Kozhikode is not only in the beautifulness of the campus, it is in the warmth of its people, the friendship we build, the openness we experience, and the sense of belongingness that we carry with us. Anyone who has spent time at IIM Kozhikode, be it as a student, be it as a staff, be it as a faculty, truly feel this warmthness. What makes IIM Kozhikode special is not only its academic excellence, but also its culture of openness, collaboration, collegiality, and togetherness. This culture is our greatest strength. As we celebrate this important milestone, let us look ahead. The next 30 years will bring new opportunities and at the same time having challenges, particularly with respect to technology, AI, and rapidly changing world. Let us celebrate our journey with pride and as an IIMK community, look to the future with confidence and continue working together to make IIM Kozhikode as an institution of great excellence and greater impact. Happy 31st Foundation Day of IIM Kozhikode and happy Onam to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your memories about IIMK with us. May I now invite Professor Surya Prakash Pati, faculty in OBHR area, for a few words.
Vice Admiral Alok ji, Sir, Director, and respected faculty and staff colleagues, on this Foundation Day, it is a great opportunity to focus on our foundation. In other words, what holds us firm. It took me some time today when Director asked me to speak to reflect deeply what really held us firm all these years. And I will share two incidents that possibly will help throw the light on this. So in 2014, we had an HR summit at the Kochi campus. So Professor Manoranjan and I were leading this along with the director. So we traveled all the way to Kochi. It wasn't easy. Kochi was a new campus. It was a new city. We never knew any places in Kochi, but we were full of enthusiasm. A day before the summit, the director walks in to examine the preparation. Typically, he still does that. So we were very confident and happy. So the backdrop was ready, the flowers fresh and shiny, and the microphone also was working. He ignored everything, and he walks straight to the first chair. And he used his fingertip to wipe a layer of dust. And he looked at us. We are not ready. And then he tells something. The path to excellence is attention, not on the bigger things, but on the dust that cover these bigger things. Of course, we got the dust cleared, but a lesson on the cultural value of IIMK was taught, and that is we care. 7 years down the line, I experienced this particular value in a more personal way. My daughter was born during the thick of COVID. There were death and despair in the family, just like many other families in the nation. And hence, her birth was an event that was looked forward to. So when she was born, I got a call from the Dean, Professor Sridhar. I was serving as the MDP chair. He said, congratulations, Surya, but don't come to office for the next 10 days. I will sign all the files, but I will call you to take your opinion. I said, you don't need to. You are the dean. He said, you are the chair. My job is to support you, not overrule you. I still have written this down in my diary. And then Dr. Yamuna, who is sitting there, she calls. She was the officer, attached to the MDP office. Sir, I'll be sending you all the files to your home. You don't need to worry. Please don't come home or come to office. In this place, we care. And that is what makes us what IIM Kozhikode is. My daughter continues to be darling of the campus, as all the children are. So that care has taken us to wherever we are today. We cared for the city, and hence we hosted the IIMK. We continue hosting the IIMK marathon every February with different themes. We cared for the state, hence we actively involved in training and teaching policymakers, many times at a financial loss. We cared for the nation, and hence we have a conference called Globalizing Indian Thought, with a signature conference of IIMK every year. As we walk into another year, let's commit ourselves to the value of we care again and ask every day, who did I uplift today? Possibly that gives us where we are at IIM Kozhikode. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your beautiful experience here at IIMK. Now, it's truly an honor to introduce our esteemed chief guest. Vice Admiral Alok Anand, Youth Seva Medal, is presently serving as a Commandant INA, commissioned in Indian Navy in 1993. He is an alumnus of the Indian Naval Academy. He completed his midshipman training on board aircraft carrier INS Virat, wherein he was awarded gold medal for his performance. The flag officer completed his specialization in navigation and direction in 1999. He has served as navigating officer for 4 frontline warships. An alumnus of 63rd Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, he was awarded Scudder Medal for standing first in his course. Later, he attended the 58th National Defence Course at Thailand, where he was awarded prize for the best paper, research paper. He holds a master's and MPhil degree in defense and strategic studies. The flag officer has several instructional tenures, including instructor at National Defence Academy, Pune, Navigation and Direction School, Kochi, and Defence Services Staff College, Wellington. His key tenures at Naval Headquarters, New Delhi, including Captain Naval Operation, Captain Strategy, Concepts and Transformation, Commodore Naval Operations, Commodore Ex-Serviceman Affairs, and ACNS Policy and Plans. Prior to taking over as a Commandant, INA, he commanded the prestigious Eastern Fleet based at Visakhapatnam. In recognition of his distinguished service, he was awarded Youth Seva Medal in 2016. I invite our director, Professor Debashish Chatterjee, to honor our chief guest by presenting a Ponada. Thank you, sir. It's now my privilege to invite our esteemed chief guest, Vice Admiral Alok Ananda, YSM, to deliver the Foundation Day address.
Respected Director Sir, distinguished faculty members, members of the board, members of the staff, dear students, if any of IIM Kozhikode, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon to you. And at the outset, let me, on behalf of the entire Navy, wish you all a very happy Onam to you and your families. May you have a year full of happiness and prosperity ahead. You know, if I was not in uniform, I would have been sitting here. I was sharing with Director that we were all that part of, 80s Indian middle class boys, growing boys and girls, whose fate were decided even before they were born as to what they will become. And I was on that path till the time I got an opportunity to appear in NDA exam. I cleared it, and just that itch of not following all other family members who all happen to be engineers, doctors, professionals, and many of them in academic, professors, deans, directors, and principals, decided to do something different. And this is where I am after 37, 38 years of journey. And I come back to the auditorium of one of the most prestigious institutes of the country, and now I'm being asked to deliver an address. My legs are shaking and I'm nervous. Nonetheless, because here I find myself again a 17, 18-year-old being asked to stand in front of his professors. Nonetheless, my purpose of traveling all the way and visiting this place first was to enrich myself, visit this place of eminence, meet all of you. I had heard so much about your director. And let me tell you that little time that I have gone around this place, director was kind enough to take me around for about 5-7 minutes since we were walking from his chamber to this place. This place has got a soul. Everything that we see here is not mere brick and mortar. Everything has got a purpose, and there is a messaging behind it. That shows that this place actually represents labor of love. And let me tell you, all of us who happen to be in this campus, even for a small time, or like you, fortunate enough to be here for a longer time, you all are blessed. And with the love and care that is reflected in every speck of this place, I'm very sure that IIM Kozhikode will continue to grow and scale for the heights in future. Personally, for me, it's a matter of immense pride and privilege to be here on your foundation day. You have completed 30 years of your journey, and today you stand as one of India's leading institutions of management, education, and research. I mean, at the cost of sounding repetitive, but I must tell you that any institution that acquires a physical campus relatively quickly, develops programs, builds infrastructure, creates systems over time, but an institution acquires character and reputation only through the people who dedicate a significant part of their lives to it. To all the faculty members who are present here, I would like to say, you have not merely worked at IIM Kozhikode, you have helped build IIM Kozhikode. When he joined this institution decades ago, it was at a very different stages of his journey. The institute that we see today, with its reputation, alumni network, academic standing, and national presence, has evolved enormously. Your real contribution lives on in the students that you have influenced, colleagues that you have mentored, ideas you have contributed, and the institutional traditions that you have helped establish. They will remember a teacher who challenged them, encouraged them, and believed in them. I would also like to acknowledge the staff members of IIM Kozhikode. Institutions are often identified with their most visible personalities, the director, the faculty member, or students. But every successful institute rests on the dedication of people working behind the scene: administration, finance, libraries, IT, academic services, campus operations, so on and so forth. So many other functions make it possible for an institution like this to perform at its best with the strong backbone that is the staff. My compliments to them. And to the students of IIM Kozhikode, I have just one simple message. Please convey it to them on my behalf. When they study at an institution like IIM Kozhikode, your students are receiving more than a degree. They are becoming part of a legacy. The nation expects from them not just the ordinary, but something totally different. Every time the question, why me, comes to the mind of an IIM Kozhikode alumni, he or she must remember they are from this institute. A reputation that they have to hold and justify the faith and the trust that the countrymen have placed in them. And so each one of them and each one of you, all of you present here, and those who are not with us here today, but who have had the honor of being associated with IIM Kozhikode, I, as an Indian citizen and a proud Indian who can boast of institutions such as IIMs and IITs as the flagship of higher learning in our country, I would like to pay my respect and compliments to all of you and salute you in gratitude. There are few more institutions in this country that I'm proud of as an Indian. And fortunately, I have had the privilege of being associated with some of them. You must have heard in my introduction that I have been an instructor in National Defense Academy from 1997 to 1999. I was there and I was given the task of shaping young minds. And again, after almost a gap of 27 years, I have come back to an academy, and now this time as Commandant. I have spent my entire life in between that tenure and now doing operations and doing policy and plans. Now, policy and plans is a vast subject as far as Navy is concerned. I can just give you a glimpse of what I did. 2023 to 2025, I was Assistant Chief of Naval Staff Policy and Plans. The total amount that I spent in those 2 years building your Navy was 2,41,000 crores. On an average, we are commissioning a ship every 45th day in this country. You must have noticed it. Thereafter, I went on as Fleet Commander of Eastern Fleet, based at Visakhapatnam, and I was commanding those ships which are being inducted at such a frantic pace. What has changed? Why suddenly the entire focus of the country is now towards Navy? Reasons are known to everybody. You all study geostrategic, geoeconomics, geopolitics as much as we do. You would realize that if we have to maintain this pace of growth, we need to have our supply lines intact. You have seen what has happened as a result of the fracas that is going on in Middle East, how it has impacted us. Although let me tell you that recently I was deployed with my fleet in South China Sea, and I have seen the impact of this war on the Southeast Asian countries. Again, Vietnam is one country which is trying to maintain a growth of rate of 8%, and the Ho Chi Minh City itself is trying to maintain a rate of growth of 10%. The kind of adverse impact that Iran-USA war has on their economy, compare that to size of this country, the number of population, number of vehicles, our daily consumption. Somehow the government has managed to insulate all of us from the harsh measures that other countries have adopted. However, this is left to the Indian Navy to be wherever it is required to be to protect our national interests. You must have seen anywhere in the world and anywhere in the history, the so-called superpowers have always exercised their influence through their navies. First it was, I will not take you far back into the history. Look at the pre-World War era, it was British Navy which used to rule the waves, and Britain had more than 50% of the world. Thereafter it was the US Navy which had the superpower status, which still has the superpower status. US Navy is the largest and the most powerful Navy in the world. And you see, they interfere anywhere, in any corner of the world through their Navy. China, which was landward looking, inward looking since Ming Dynasty, suddenly realized that their time under the sun has come and they are going to emerge as a superpower, and see the rate at which their Navy has developed. You would be surprised to know every 4 years, China adds one Navy equal to Indian Navy's size to their arsenal. That is the rate of their growth. They are matching US Navy. In fact, numerically today, Chinese Navy is superior to US Navy. It is only some bit of that high-end technology that the US still commands, which gives them that edge. Okay, so the second institution that I'm very proud of is the institute which I decided to join after leaving my professional course, and that is the Indian Naval Academy. That time Indian Naval Academy was in Goa. Now we have our own campus and we have shifted to a beautiful place called Admiral, which is just about 100 kilometers plus north of this campus of yours. In fact, it has taken me precisely today 4.5 hours to drive to this place, and had I not stopped over at Paragon for a sumptuous lunch, perhaps I would have been here a little earlier. But that again was a dream, that I wanted to go to Paragon and try their mango fish. In our academy, I have got about 1,305 trainees as on date. Very young people join us. Most of them join us after 12th. Young boys and girls with a lot of dreams in their eyes. What happens is that there are some fundamental changes takes place in them moment they come to Naval Academy. First of all, as a basic degree, we give them all BTech degree. They all have to do BTech. And again, I was just mentioning to Director Sir that, some of us had this misconception that if you don't want to study, somehow manage to get into NDA. Once you have joined Force, after that you don't have to study. You must have heard my introduction. We have to study perhaps much more than or as much as our civilian counterparts. Every 4 or 5 years, we have to keep going back to studies, and we have to do well in those courses in order to progress further in our career. So we get this, raw talent from India, selected through a national exam, national level competition, and thereafter they spend about 4 years with us, and we turn them into sentinels of our borders. I can assure you that every cadet who passes out from Naval Academy after 4 years of training, few of the qualities that you can easily associate with him or her: physically fit, mentally agile, supremely confident, very, very adaptable, very broad outlook, excellent understanding of technology. I'm not saying that they are technologically brilliant. Excellent understanding of technology, excellent understanding of politics, strategy, economics, and most important of all, human mind. Because we are the only profession where I can legitimately ask you for your life, and you don't have any rights to say no. So I should know how to command the minds of my men and women who have been placed by this country under my command. There are certain fundamental changes that is brought in us moment we join military academies. I know few of my colleagues are here, and perhaps you must be finding some traits of that in their personalities also. First and foremost, what we learn, and which is what I'm going to say here, is not something that is unique only to military. It is true to all of us. I'm just saying that how it manifests in somebody who is in uniform. The first thing that is taught to us is that it's the mind which controls the body and not the other way around. When somebody has to run with that 14 kg pack and a rifle in his hand, her hand, for 40 kilometers in one night through jungles, streams, boulders, rocks, you cannot do it if you start thinking. You will keep running till the time your mind tells you to run. It's not your legs which will ache. So somewhere in that entire training, I found that the thrust is on making you understand and realize that is the mind which controls the body. We place too much of emphasis on team effort rather than individual brilliance. There is something called boat pulling. In Navy, we do something called boat pulling. There is a 27 feet DK Whaler boat, huge boat, very heavy, which 5 of them have to pull. And if they pull together, they will win. if one of them goes out of sync, he or she will undo the effort of other four. That's a great management lesson. You know, I did boat pulling in academy as a cadet. In 2012, that was in 1989-90, in 2012, I was sent as in command of a ship, which at that time was completely broken. There was mutiny on board, there was a suicide case, there were few leak breakings, all sort of discipline problems were happening on that ship. I was looking for a ways how to put that team together, and the boat pulling competition was coming up. At the age of 42, I decided that I'll do boat pulling. And I joined the boat pulling team, officers team. We didn't win the boat pulling competition, but at the end of that year, in the Eastern Fleet, that ship was declared the best ship of the fleet. So this is what we try to teach by each segment of our training, which looks very tough, which to those pure cadets may appear to be just too much of physical effort, but it has got a lesson to it. We are the ones who will achieve our objective at any cost, even at the cost of our life. So thereafter, nothing is more valuable. Give me an objective, and if I am convinced about that objective, we'll achieve it. We'll deliver it to you. And this is what this country expects from us. We encourage reasoning, but we don't encourage questioning. We want our staff to reason with us. We want opinions, but we don't want questioning. Because once an order has been given, thereafter it is to be followed. The most importantly, discipline in every walk of life. An officer or a Fauji is Fauji 24/7. There is nothing called 8 to 8. I wear this uniform, I have to uphold the dignity of it every second of my life. Self-pride. We believe in ourselves. We don't fritter ourselves away. We make things. We protect things. We don't destroy. We don't get taken over by ideologies. We don't get into debate. We work. We deliver. And that is where the present generation maybe has got to learn a lot from us rather than criticizing us on camera. Let me tell you, we are the delivery end of the most modern technology in the world. Any technology which comes to market or business, before that it is tested in defense forces all over the world. Whenever you get a chance, please visit one of our ships and see the kind of technology that our boys and girls handle. This list can just go on. If I ask Colonel George to come and speak to you, he will perhaps recount another 5 more, which are unique to Army. But what I'm saying is that at the end of it, after 37 years, 38 years that I've spent in this honorable profession, if I'm given a chance again and clock is put back, and if I have to make that selection, I think I'll again choose this life, I'll again choose Navy, and I'll again choose to serve my country by wearing this uniform. However, one thing also that we know is that we are not the only defenders of this country. Every Indian who does his or her best in whatever field they are in, they are equally the builders and the defenders of the country. In fact, you are the builders of the country, and our job is to defend it, and we are the visible end of that power. I'll not take much of your time because it's Onam time. I'm just standing between you and your festivities to resume. So let me just conclude once again by congratulating IIM Kozhikode on its 31st Foundation Day, and most importantly, congratulate all the faculty members and the staff who are present here. May your contribution continue to inspire the generation that follow, not only in stature and excellence, but also in wisdom, values, and its contribution to the society. To all of you being honored today, I offer my deepest appreciation and respect. My very best wishes to Director Sir. May everything turns all right, sir, and we will get the news soon. And we all pray for his mother's speedy and comprehensive recovery. And we wish to interact more with Director Sir and the faculty of IIM Kozhikode. I'll work out the details as to how that would be made possible, whether you all can be invited for a day there and spend some time with our faculty, or can I pack them up in some buses and send them here and let them spend some time here. We'll work out the modalities, but certainly this relationship between Indian Naval Academy and IIM Kozhikode is going to grow in future. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to be here. I'm indeed honored, and I will remember this as one of the memorable moments of my life, to have got professors and academicians as my captive audience and square up some of my... Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your words truly gave us goosebumps and left us deeply inspired. As a token of our gratitude, may I invite our director to present a memento to our esteemed chief guest, Vice Admiral Alok Anand, YSM. Thank you, sir. It's now time to honor the faculty and staff members who have completed 25 years of dedicated and distinguished service to the Institute. I request our director and our chief guest to kindly present a token of appreciation in recognition of their invaluable contributions to the Institute. May I call upon the nominated faculty and staff members to come forward one by one as their names are announced. Professor K. Unnikrishnan Nair. Mr. Praship Kumar KK. Mr. Madhusudan V. As per the traditions of the Institute, faculty and staffs who have completed 15 years of glorious service in the Institute are felicitated on the Foundation Day. I request nominated faculty and staff to come on to the stage. Professor P. N. Ramkumar. Professor Anupam Das. Dr. Yamuna George. Ms. Simi KG. Mr. Sanjay AP. Ms. Divya Shashi. Mr. Shenza C. Ms. Sindhu J. Mr. Madhusudan PG. Ms. Asha Babu KK. and Mr. Subaya V. Mr. Subaya V. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You may be seated. To formally propose the word of thanks, I invite Mr. Aju John Verghese, Chief Administrative Officer, to address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guest, Director, Deans, Faculty and Staff. It's my honor to deliver the vote of thanks for the 31st Foundation Day of IIM Kozhikode. First to our Chief Guest, Sir, we express our deepest gratitude for your gracing this occasion. Your inspiring address provided valuable perspectives to all of us. And then the way you quantified the impact of the Navy and the strategic importance of it to all of us was truly inspirational. Thank you, sir. To our director, sir, your visionary leadership continues to inspire us. Thank you for continually steering this institute to greater prominence. And then to Professor Deepa, Professor Sudarshan, Professor Pati, thank you for reminding us of some of our achievements and for what we actually stand for. Thank you. To the service awardees, congratulations to all who completed the 25 and 15 years of dedicated service to IIMK. Looking forward to many more fruitful years together. To the organizing team members, including SWC, Estate, Horticulture, GA, and many other teams who contributed. Today we had the Onam celebration and Foundation Day coinciding, and you would have seen some of the attire that some of them are wearing. And many of you have been working really hard behind the scenes to make this occasions memorable. We thank you all. To all other faculty and staff, thank you for your presence and participation. Lastly, the strength of any building or endeavor is proportional to the strength of the original foundation. The strong foundation laid by pioneers for this great institution is what enabled master builders like our director, sir, and his predecessors to build upon it brick by brick. At this moment, we remember them with gratitude as we pledge our own commitment to play our own part to build the next set of legacies for IIMK. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As we celebrate this milestone, we may carry forward the values, vision, and spirit of IIM Kozhikode into the years ahead. May I request all to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. May I kindly request the audience to remain standing till the chief guest and director leaves. Thank you. The refreshments are arranged at first and second floor of MDC. All are requested to move for the same. Thank you.